Hi everyone, it's Nash. Welcome to my sunny backyard. Today is April 28th, 2014, and I'm officially 3 months on testosterone. How many weeks is that? Hold on. Alright, I just went to the calendar and counted. That's 13 weeks, which is nice because that's my lucky number, so this must be a lucky week. I'm 13 weeks on T. Obviously, my voice is dropping a little bit, which is exciting. I got my dose upped this week, so I've been on 50 milligrams or 0.25 cc's of tea a week. On Tuesday, a week ago, I got my dose upped to 100 milligrams a week or 0.5 cc's, which is double the amount that I was on. So some people call that a full dose. There really isn't a full dose. People are on different doses because of how their body reacts and what's right for them and what changes they want to see. So my doctor has kind of a standardized procedure in that she tends to, if people's labs work out and are looking good, levels are looking good, then she tends to up people's dose to what she tends to think of as a full dose at 3 months. So I did get upped. That was something that I wanted, and so I okayed that. And I'm excited about it because I think it's going to make some of these changes happen quicker. Particularly my voice will drop quicker and more. Hair growth will happen quicker. My monthly cycle has not ended yet, and so I'm hoping that and based off of what other people have experienced, tends to be if your dose ups and is weekly, is more consistent, you're keeping your T levels up, then that tends to happen. So that the estrogen in your body is really getting kind of beat down by the T on a regular basis and doesn't have a chance to kind of send all of that into action. So I mean, it's interesting. I went back and there are a few trans folks who are on HRT who I follow on YouTube, and I watch their videos because it's helpful. Look at this jerk. Jackson, no. No digging in the garden. Leave it. He's pissed. Hey! Okay. Yeah, what was I saying? Jackson! No! Okay, so my dog stopped digging in the garden. Well, let's hope that continues. Okay, where was I? There are some other trans folks, some folks who are on HRT who I follow on YouTube because it was really important to me and really helpful for me when I was questioning to be watching those videos and to see what what T does to somebody's body and what I could expect with that. So I've continued to watch them, though I'm not questioning whether I'm going to go on testosterone anymore or not, because it's helpful and because I can kind of compare my pace with others and see what they're going through. A lot of times people answer questions about experiences that they've had and how they dealt with it, and all of those things are really, really helpful resources for me. So today I went back and watched quite a few people who I consistently have followed through the years. I watched their 3-month videos just to kind of see where they were at compared to where I'm at, and whether they were experiencing changes that maybe I wasn't even realizing I was experiencing. Sometimes I feel like when other people talk about their changes, like they're a little more attuned to the changes that they've been experiencing, or their emotions and how those things have changed. Because for me, I don't feel like my emotional capacity has changed that much. I don't feel irritable. I don't really feel like my patience is that short. I don't feel more angry. And folks often say they don't feel more angry or angry more often, but that they experience their anger in different ways. I'm not sure that I've noticed that I've experienced anger in different ways, or that I'm processing my emotions in different ways or feeling them differently. that just really hasn't been my experience so far. I've even been kind of looking out for it because it's such a common experience. Um, I suppose I've gotten a little more amped about things that bug me, like things that come up at work or tensions with friends or things like that, than I did before. But honestly, if I wasn't looking for it, I wouldn't have noticed that. Emotionally, I don't feel like I've changed that much, really. I feel happier. A lot of that has to do with that I'm feeling more and more confident in my body. I'm feeling more comfortable in my body as my fat is redistributing a little bit, not significantly yet, which makes a lot of sense, but it's happening, and I feel good. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, like, yes, like things are moving in the right direction. I'm looking how I want to look, and that's really exciting. I am really liking how my voice is sounding, that it's finally changing. It felt like I was waiting forever for any noticeable change to happen, and I'm starting to notice it. And actually today, it's funny that it lined up with my video and it lined up with my 3 months. Today was the first time that anyone had ever noticed. I was on the phone with my brother and he was like, did you just wake up or is your voice lower? My voice is lower, and so it was kind of cool that he noticed. Also, I've been waiting for a moment where I'm not getting misgendered to happen. It hasn't happened until today, actually. I was on the phone with somebody, and while it's not a guarantee that he wouldn't have said this, that it wasn't gendered, but he said, "All right, man, sounds good. Like, well, I'll call you back." And this was somebody who I didn't know, somebody who's a store clerk. And to me, like a 20, 30-something-year-old guy saying, "All right, man," generally, guys aren't saying that to girls, like, unlike dude or something. I dude people regardless of their gender. I mean, I kind of try to be more aware of that sometimes because it can feel like misgendering to some folks. But I don't think dude is necessarily, like, super gendered, segregated of a term. But man, like, people, like other, like, guys man each other a lot, like, "All right, man, cool, man." I find that I do that to people who I perceive to be guys sometimes without even meaning to. And so that felt good. It felt right. It sounded really good. And it felt like maybe my first time experiencing being read as male, and it was kind of cool that it was my voice too. It was over the phone, so to me that means that my voice definitely has dropped and is more androgynous, if not sounding more male, typical. So that's really cool. Cheers to getting she'd and ma'amed and "hey ladies" less often. So cheers to that. Let's hope that continues on. Oh, I shaved for the first time. So I've got these little pricklies coming in. I got some stubble. It's pretty weak stubble, but it did get to the point. Most of the hair that I'm seeing grow in is on my upper lip, on the sides, like little, like, catfish, catfish whiskers. So that's attractive. And I said in my last video, I think, that I was going to shave it off, but I got a little attached to it. I kind of wanted to see how much I could cultivate. But it got to a point where other people were starting to be able to see it. And I got home from work one night, and the living room was, like, pretty dimly lit. And Abigail was sitting, like, across the living room from me and was like, "Dude, I can see your mustache from here. Like, that's gotta go." So I heeded her advice, and I shaved, which was actually really fun. It's something that I have memories of being a little kid and wanting to shave. I used to take my mom's, she had this little, like, Clinique lotion. It was this yellow lotion, and I used to lather it all over my face, and then I would take this knife from the Fisher-Price kitchen set that me and my sister had, and I would shave with that. And it just brought back those memories of, like, finally being here, and, like, that I was finally able to realize what I had wanted as a kid and what I had looked up to as a kid, and then I'm finally really becoming the person I was meant to become. So I felt really good. I still haven't used the men's restroom in public. I tend to just avoid gendered restrooms in public for the most part. That's just something that I do out of safety and to avoid anxiety and uncomfortable circumstances. So I tend to try to find gender neutral restrooms, or I hold it. I just try not to need to use gendered facilities. However, sometimes it happens. I tend to use women's restrooms when that happens. I have yet to use a public men's restroom. And the other day I was at a soccer game, professional soccer game, and I really had to go. And I was sitting there and was like, which one do I go to? I don't know how I'm being read. I did get a sheed when I was ordering nachos, so I should probably use the women's restroom because that's how I was being read. It's also a women's professional soccer game, so there's a lot of butch and masculine women around, and so I would probably get read as female. So then I was like, okay, I'll go that one. But then I was like standing in line with all of these women and young girls and just feeling like ridiculous and feeling shitty. It just felt like really public for me to be standing in this like very public line with like thousands of people around me and passing by. It just felt really awful. But then I was like, I'm going to the men's room. And I like would go, and then I'd get scared. I'd get scared of like, well, what do I do with my body in that space? And like, where, what if somebody calls me out, and who's in there? And do I have to like keep my head down? And I don't know, just like a bunch of irrational fears. I'm sure it would have been fine. It felt like not the right time to have my first experience at this like really public arena. So that's something that I'm working on, and I feel like we'll get easier with time, and especially as I get to have experiences where I'm more consistently read as male. I think that will be more comfortable. But for now, I'm really used to my situation, my kind of coping mechanism for gendered restrooms, in that I hold it, and I'm good at like timing things to go to the restroom at the house, or where I know where gender neutral restrooms are, and so I can manage with that. But just so happened that one of those moments where I normally would have just accessed the women's restroom came up, and it felt different. It definitely felt different than it used to before tea. I think a lot of that is like, how am I being read, and just like a fear of being policed in the restrooms, and who's allowed and who's not. And I mean, it's just messed up that restrooms are gendered when not everybody fits within that binary. I do what I can to navigate those systems. All in all, I'm feeling really good. I'm excited that some visible, noticeable changes are happening finally. Obviously, most of this process is about me and how I feel in my own body, but there's no doubt about it that the way that I'm read by other people, the way other people are perceiving my gender expression, affects the way that I walk through the world, and affects the experiences I have and how I access spaces. And so it's exciting to finally have my expression and my identity align more is one thing, and then to have the way other people are perceiving my expression and my gender expression line up more. So there's kind of a few layers of alignment that are coming together finally, and it's just the beginning. I've got some more room to grow and ways of changing, but I'm really excited about it. All right, I think that's all. Signing off from Portland. Again, it's April 28th, 2014. I'm 13 weeks on T, and I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone has nice sunny weather like I do. This is so rare that it's like this nice in Portland. It's supposed to be 80 degrees this week, which is awesome. So looking forward to the summer, and I'm sending all my best to all of you. All my love.